I had a response to uh, Crossing Tommy. She does good videos, a good discussion, and I wanted to go over a response to the executive order uh, showing that life begins at conception and there's only two genders and one of the gender is chosen at conception. It goes that far that far back in our lives, and he is almost making it pretty much almost making it illegal to for all the trans. Uh, Trump is kind of setting this back or resetting the timeline to about 1965, and so we have to make a choice. Do we believe the JFK files or do we believe Martin Luther King files? Do we really want bring back slavery or do we want to bring back uh, Democrat conspiracies that are completely evil? I'll choose that one.
And if this is going to become legally recognized as a declaration that life begins at conception, especially in the eyes of governing bodies, and how that will work out in the question of abortion. I know it's a very complex issue, but it is important that we tackle these complex issues with logic, with reasoning, and with solid conversation. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you have some deeper understanding about the legal.
Okay. Yeah, so I say, I'm sorry, but Nazi experiment is the right way to frame this discussion. And, well, I'll have to click back. Okay, the most harrowing video ever seen, gender ideology. Ah, hey, Okay, this is nonverbal minor, I guess. I guess minor could be a minor. But this is nonverbal and cannot give consent. It's a Nazi experiment to show you how these kind of behavioral experiments work. There's a brief outline of things that are happening right now. So I say no compromise ever. Activision, Call of Duty, and World of Warcraft, and whatever. Okay, they're not selling games. They have patents on developing AI coding, like their anti-cheat bloatware failure and AI that polices speech, webcam, facial recognition while streaming. That's going to show up at some point because they have the patents on it, and they'll just keep shoving it down our throats, or keep as you watch the Call of Duty, uh, the size of the updates get worse and worse as optimization and performance gets worse. That's because they're stuffing all that AI, and so they're making all that money off of that AI patents while screwing women in the restroom under threat of ruining their lives with the same technology. This is getting pretty evil. And so I link it to this. It's complicated. Optics reminds me how guys claim to be trans just to get into the locker room. We cuss them out. We get reported to gender psychotherapists for reconditioning. So doctors in this cult don't care about disabilities. Quite the opposite. Transition a higher percentage with comorbidities and mental disabilities because they can't consent. is just about the same thing as grinding up abortions for stem cell research. Gender ideology. And what this has reminded me about this really freaky demonic religion order here that I cannot look at. But in Pakistan, microcephalic children find refuge at shrine of Shenandoah and where the hell ever. They review, but just say they are reviewed in Berkeley. Just say that. Divine creatures are simultaneously stripped of their human dignity, reportedly infertile from across the country, flock to the shrine in hopes of having a normal baby. Other pilgrims bring in their sick infants and hope that they correct the health conditions in the future. The shrine of Shadula, if I pronounce it right, Shadula is considered a abode of fertility for women. Child abuse under the garb of magical fertility. Prayers are answered under one condition: the woman must donate the first child to the shrine. Otherwise, they'll be cursed with deformities. Hence, the first child must serve as one of the rats. And these children are not treated as human or have parents or anything. They are subjected to wearing an iron band to prevent normal growth of the cranium. This is what trans is amounting to. And so, really, you're not helping anything if you're yelling at me that I'm some kind of prophet. Trying to feed me schizophrenic bipolar grandiosity and try to force people into different molds. Okay, you're gonna put it all the problems I'm having already. You want to put a rubber band around me and saying that say that I've been cursed and so you're gonna get all these babies off of me. Babies from looking at me. You're completely psychotic and stupid. And I hope you pay for that. But we know for those who love God, all things work together for good. Those who are called according to his purpose. We know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and according to his purpose for them. Romans 8:28. I don't know what to do with those people that are completely that lost. I hope you do not see the attacks I get, I assume, from the pituitary tumor, that you see that as some kind of magical fertility. This is horrifying what they have been doing to people, just your neighbors, not that far from you. And they're doing it willfully against God because people like me are not to be just not human, too far gone. And it is like Ozempic. They're really pushing out Ozempic. It just didn't do much of anything for me. Whatever else is wrong is not helping. Ozempic is almost the same kind of experiment, but they're having trouble making up their mind over it. Ozempic is supposed to be a magic weight loss drug, so injections. So they're not thinking ahead. They're just pushing out human trials, really, for everything. I mean, unless this completely stops, I would be happier probably being ground up for research. I don't care about what this has turned into. It's not even that it's crossed the line. It's just begun to do this from from the 70s or the 60s or whatever. And Trump is just setting us back to 1965. No more science like this. It got to outlaw all this. And I don't know how science fiction anime. I don't know why people want to do anything. There's no reason that half of them have robot parts, and it's like, why does anything matter? We gotta just stay on these standards and build everything from there, because people will just immediately run into slavery and human sacrifice and whatever psychotic. I don't have words for these kind of cults, and they're victimizing your neighbors. So just no more. Please relent. And I don't know. This is insane what it's done.